Right, Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Sincere Shalom to Akim who are pushing this word around the globe in faith and truth and in sincerity. So as always, I want to start by saying we are the true Hebrew Israelites. You true Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans. We are the true descendants of the man in the Bible who was named Israel, so therefore we are the Israelites. This also applies to anybody who may look like any of the other 17 nations mentioned in the Bible, but if your seed line by your father goes back to the man named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you look like, because Israel has been scattered amongst all nations, so therefore we look like all peoples now. So if you want to learn more about that, just Google GMS 12 tribe sign and you'll learn more. So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about more madness from the devil, which is Esau. Another article here. I'm just bringing out the folly, man, because as the scriptures say, folly is set in great dignity, but the rich sit in no place. So let's get into this one. It says, this is from, again, the Daily Mirror. Man has horns implanted into his forehead to go with his 278 penis piercings. Now, only a devil will be into this kind of shit, man. So let's go. It says, Rolf Buchholz from Dortmund, Germany, entered the Guinness Book of Records for the enormous number of piercings he has scattered across his body, and now he has horns. So this is the damn devil, man. This is Esau in his element, man. Look at this devil. So it says, Slovakia, for those of you who don't know who Esau is what the world commonly would refer to as white people today. But there's no such thing as white people or black people. Those are just made up terms because every nation on this earth has a name attributed to it by Yahweh, Yahweh being the God of the Bible. So, for example, the true name of the so-called white people is the Edomites. The true name of the so-called black people who descend from Israel are the Israelites. But then you have different nations who also have dark skin, but they're not Israelites. Those would be the sons of Ham. For example, Mizraim, there should be you Egyptians, you Cushites, which is you Ethiopians. So not all dark-skinned people are Israelites, and I need to put that out there. And obviously not all so-called white people are Edomites, because as I mentioned in the start of the video, you have what is known as the scattering of Israel. So you might have people who may look like the other nations, but their seed line goes back to the man named Israel. So they're an Israelite. Or if your seed line goes back to the man named Esau, then you're an Edomite. If your seed line goes back to the man named Moab, you're a Moabite. It ain't hard once you get into it. But let's keep moving through this article. A world record breaker who has 278 penis piercings in his penis has taken body modification to new extreme by having horns implanted into his forehead. Back in 2010, Rolf Buchholz was verified by the Guinness Book of Records as the world's most pierced man. If the 433 bits of metal attached to his body and dyed black eyes weren't enough to make him stand out, synthetic horns that stick out of his forehead will do the trick. See, nobody's saying this is madness, man. This society condones this kind of fuckery, man. So it says, the German was spotted showing off the striking look at the 10th International Brussels Tattoo Convention, and getting tattoos is going off, which took place this weekend. I mean, look at this guy, man. Well, how much more proof do you need that Esau's the damn devil, man? The German has jet black eyes lined by metal piercings. Fucking demon. As well as the heavily tattooed Dortmund man, visitors to the convention enjoyed oogling body modifications, enthusiasts from across the world, skateboarding displays, and a motorcycle wall of death. The splash Rolf made this weekend was not the first time he's made headlines. Back in 2014, he came to public attention when he was turned away from Dubai International Airport because officials suspected him of witchcraft. 7/7 reported. So that goes to show you that witchcraft is heavy in the West, like in America, Europe, stuff like that. But some of these nations, Dubai, I think there are probably Ishmaelites out there, but some of these nations, they kind of they're not as desensitized to witchcraft as we are here in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, I'm speaking from, I'm from, don't want to put my business out there, but I'm from the UK personally. But you know what I mean? Witchcraft is heavy in this society. It says magic has nothing to do with Rolf's look, however, or so they say, because that's not true, because tattoos work as entry points for demons to enter into your vessel. You know, the Most High specifically gave us us Israelites, commandments to keep. And one of the commandments was not to print any marks in our body or make cuttings in our flesh for the dead, which is what a lot of tattoos are doing. Now, we are allowed to have ear piercings. That's allowed in our law. Also, nose piercings are allowed in our law. But beyond that, that's it. You know, ears, nose is fine. But everything else, that represents you basically making cuttings into your flesh. So tattoo enthusiasts from all across the world have been in Brussels this weekend. Say you've got this woman here with this tattoo of an ancient pharaoh on her back. I mean, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? Pharaoh, the Egyptians were heavy into, you know, they had the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and they were into mummification and all this kind of shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, and she might be a Moabite, I don't know. For those who don't know, the Moabites are so-called Chinese. So it says human horns are actually made of either Teflon or coral or silicone, which are then inserted beneath the skin of the forehead. I mean, why the hell is anybody doing this shit? You've got to have demons on you to be doing this, man. As they stretch out the skin, larger and larger horns can be put in. The first recorded set of human horns belonged to an American sideshow performer, the Enigma, who had a couple of silicone nodules installed beneath his jigsaw tattooed face. Look at this guy, man. That's Esau for you, man. This is the world that Esau wants. He wants everybody walking around looking like a fucking freak, man. Airport officials mistook his body modification as witchcraft. No, they didn't, because it is witchcraft, because this guy's clearly got demons on him. While it may cause heads to turn, Rolf's extreme look does not cause him problems in the bedroom. Back in 2017, the 60-year-old reassured the public that his 278 penis piercings had not negatively impacted his sex life. It's not a problem at all, the telecommunications worker told the Daily Star. I have had the piercings already so long. If there were any problem, I'd have got rid of them already long ago. So this is folly set in great dignity, and this is what Esau promotes, and he wants his society to be filled with demons like this, because this is Esau's idea of heaven. Let me get this in the scriptures. I've got this on the screen. Let me pull this out, because this is relevant. Job 30. This is speaking of you Edomites. It says, "But now that they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They are driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief." See, because you Edomites are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Is it Malachi? Malachi 1 and 4? I'll try and get that in a minute, if that's the right precept I'm thinking of. It says, "To dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men, and they were viler than the earth." Let me get Malachi 1 and 4 if this is what I'm thinking of. It just came to me for the Spirit, so let's see where it takes me. There we go. Yes, this is what I wanted. Malachi 1 and 1, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. "I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. There you go. Let me read that again. They shall build. No, let me read it from the 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So there you go. Let me get folly sit in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I think that's Ecclesiastes chapter 1. No, that's not what I'm looking for, but I'm going to bring this one out. Ecclesiastes 1 and 15, it says, let me read this from 12, Ecclesiastes 1 and 12. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven, and this saw travail hath the Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. And I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. So the people that are crooked and that can't be made straight are you Edomites. Let me get Ecclesiastes 7, maybe that's what I'm looking for. No. I'm going to have to look for this one. Bear me a second. Ecclesiastes 10 and 6 is what I want. Here we go. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Now what that's speaking about is that the earth is turned upside down at the moment, where the servants are upon horses, the servants are you so-called other nations, chiefly you Edomites, and the true kings of the earth are the Israelites, because Israel in Hebrew is Yasharallah, and the meaning of that is he is a prince of the power. We are the true sons of God. Psalm 82 and 6? Let me think. Pull this one out, Psalm 82 and 6 to prove that point. Yes, this is it. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. So let me get some scriptures on making cuttings in your flesh and tattoos. Leviticus 19 and 28. You pull it out. There we go. Leviticus 19 and 28 says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. Yeah? So it's quite clear that the scriptures, the Holy Bible, is against this kind of behavior and conduct. But this is the conduct that this world promotes, and they give reverence to, because this society is run by Esau, and Esau is nothing but the damn devil himself. So this is what Esau's idea of heaven is, and that's totally off according to the scriptures. So for all you Jacob who are just waking up to this truth, now's the time to get into this thing and really learn who your enemy is, because we do have enemies. Let me get that out in the scriptures too. This is Psalm 83. There we go. For you two-third Jacob are still asleep, you need to wake up, because you've got enemies. And Psalm 83 makes it clear. Psalm 83, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Let me just give a bit of a breakdown on this, yeah? From verse 6 it says, the tabernacles of Edom, which is what you so-called white people, the Ishmaelites, which is you so-called Arabs, the Moabites, which is you so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, Ammon being the so-called Japanese, Amalek being the chief house of Edom, the Philistines being Hamites, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them, and they have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So basically, we do have enemies in this world. And let me go back to Deuteronomy 7 and 6 to prove who the Lord's people are, which is the Israelites. And it says, for Deuteronomy 7 and 6, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And this is why the other nations hate us, and they're trying to stop us from coming back to the remembrance of who we are, and why they put bywords on us, like calling us Jamaicans or Haitians or Dominicans or West Indians or Americans or African Americans or Negroes or blacks or Mexicans or Spics or Colombians or Panamanians or Guatemalans or Argentinians, Ecuadorians. All these names are bywords. We are truly the descendants of Israel. We are the Israelites. And they've tried to take our name out of history and out of remembrance by setting up those fake Jewish people in the land of Israel. So let me finish this, and I'm going to bring out another two precepts. It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out of the hand with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, and from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. What precept did I want to get? Revelation 2 and 9. What was Ezra's for? This is Yahushai's words, which he gave unto the Apostle John. He says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, speaking to us Israelites, mainly to us elect, hopeful elect, I should say. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So those people running around in the land of Israel calling themselves Jewish, they're the synagogue of Satan. Let me get Revelation 3 and 9, and it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast that which thou hast, and let no man take thy crown. So I've made the point, I've covered the scriptures. Lord willing, it's been edifying. So with that, giving once again all praise, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the orders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And a sincere shalom to all you Akim who are pushing this word around the globe in faith and in truth and in sincerity. And until the next time I'm able to do another lesson, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.